Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I will be reviewing all the games that I picked, see how I did, and see who actually won. So for the opening game, I did choose the defending Super Bowl champions in the Rams, but unfortunately their defense was nowhere to be found as the Buffalo Bills blew them away to take the opener. Moving on to the next game, the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I did predict for the New Orleans Saints to win, and they did. I truly believe that Winston would have been the star of the show, but Tatum Hill ended up being the MVP of the game. You could say whatever position he does play. The game, I believe, of the week between the Browns and the Panthers did not go as planned, as I did predict that Baker Mayfield would have gotten revenge on his former team, but unfortunately his former team had a chip on their shoulder, and they decided, hey, let's go steal a win for the Browns. So the Browns got the win over the Carolina Panthers. Moving on to the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. I thought that with the 49ers, with their team, offense, defensive wise, I figured that they would have ran away with this one, or at least got the W, but unfortunately, it could have been the fact that it was just a terrible day, you could say, in Chicago, just pouring rain all day. And it ultimately led to the downfall of the 49ers as Chicago the Bears started the season off with a winning note. This is another surprising game, to say the least. I predicted that the Cincinnati Bengals would have defended their championship, AFC championship turf, but unfortunately they were not able to do so as the Pittsburgh Steelers came back, I do believe, in overtime to stun the Bengals crowd. So I did pick the Cincinnati Bengals, but the Pittsburgh Steelers took the W. Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. I did pick Justin Fields and the Philadelphia Eagles to win, and sure enough, they came away with the victory. And what has to be an extremely shocking result, a tie. Now, I personally am not a fan of a tie. I'd rather just see the game go on until somebody scores. But unfortunately, the NFL rules are what they are. And after overtime, if nobody scores, they ended at a tie, and that's exactly what happened. So I picked the Colts, but unfortunately, they weren't able to come away with the victory. The New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins, AFC East rivals. I did pick the Miami Dolphins to win, and they ultimately came through and started the season off 1-0. Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. I did pick the Baltimore Ravens to win, and sure enough, they got the W. A game that was a lot closer than I thought, and it ultimately came down to the last 2 minutes, as Carson Wentz pulled off a comeback for the Commanders, and you could ultimately say they shocked the Jaguars, as the Jaguars did crawl their way back into the game, but ultimately could not hold on to the last 2 minute or so lead. So the Washington Commanders start the season off 1-0. Oh, and if I did not say this at the start, I did pick the Jaguars to win, but ultimately they lost. Now this has got to be a game. I always thought that the last 2 minutes of a basketball game took forever. It felt like the last 2 minutes of this just dragged on. And the fact that the Giants came away with the upset, a major upset, obviously they went for the 2-point conversion after they tied it late in less than 2 minutes. And unfortunately, the Titans just ran out of time. They didn't have enough gas. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. So, yeah, the Giants upset the Titans. And I did pick Tennessee to win. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals. I did pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win, and ultimately I do believe they doubled up on Kyler Murray and friends. So the Chiefs started off the season yet again on a winning note, 1-0. A revenge game for the Chargers, to say the least. Like I said last time in the preview, that these two teams met on the opposite turf in Week 18, and obviously the Raiders came away with the overtime victory. So I'm sure that there was revenge on Justin Herbert and friends' minds, to say the least, as the Chargers start the season off 1-0. A game I knew would bite me in the butt. I did pick the Packers to win, and ultimately the receivers were nowhere to be found as Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings ran away with the pack and started the season off with a winning note. And the Sunday night game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys did not go as planned for your boys, I guess you could say. I did pick Tampa Bay to win, and ultimately they came away with the victory. Dak obviously went down with a hand injury late in the game, and I guess he will be missing some time. So if you're a Cowboys fan, this is really not good news, especially with that NFC East and the Eagles in your division. So you got to hope that he can come back pretty quickly if you guys want to solidify your season. And tomorrow I will be reviewing tonight's game between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. I did pick the Broncos to win, so ultimately we will see who wins and comes away with the victory. So as I said, I will have a review video for this game tomorrow, and then I will start my next week's video, I believe, on Wednesday for the upcoming season. Until next time, guys, take care, and thanks for tuning into the channel.